but being a later start here in the second half, it'll dip into the low 40s. Bucks are kicking off. They want the ball to start the second half, and back to return. It doesn't matter. Raheem Blackshear has actually had 27 kick returns, averaging over 25 a pop. Well, it was a tough loss to Kansas City, but they had won back-to-back games prior to that. The numbers last week for Bryce Young, and that's a career best completions and hit a high mark of passing yards as well.
Yeah, Chris, I think he played his best football game as a professional last week, really climbing the pocket. And Jen mentioned it, getting through his progressions quickly, 1 to 2 to check down. That's really what he's doing now, and it's made him so much more efficient in the pocket, and that's where he played from last week. He looked much better.
30-yard line. Young comes out throwing and completes to the 35. Xavier Legette, the rookie receiver, his 34th catch, and leads the team in receptions.
Yeah, and I'm going to start off with these two behemoths inside, Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt. I'm telling you what, they invested big money in their offensive line in the offseason, and those two guys are really the actuator of this offensive running game. So powerful, so big. That Robert Hunt, number 50, he's like a big old grizzly bear in there.
Yeah, Adam Thielen back for his second game. Had 3 catches last week. Sanders and Coker are inactive. Chuba Hubbard the back. Young to throw, well protected, and incomplete off the hands of Felipe Franks, the reserve tight end. For Tampa Bay, Kalijah Cansey and Vita Vea playing terrific football up front. They've had some injuries in the secondary they're sorting out.
Yeah, but the guy is 13-year veteran, Levante David. You saw him right there on the coverage, running down with the tight end on the seam. I'll tell you what, he's really not only a great cover guy, he's a great leader here for this Tampa Bay defense, but he's also become a great blitzer for them. Really a complete player.
Mike Edwards for Jordan Whitehead, who went on injured reserve. An early 3rd and 5 test for Young. Here comes a flag, and he's floating one, and inside the 40 falls incomplete. Thielen, the target. Trey Blake is our referee.
Offside. Offense. Number 82. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down. Correction. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Curious about that because obviously Todd Bowles, who turned 61 years of age last month, would decline that, so it creates a 4th down, and the punting unit comes out. Looks like we have a referee who is down at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, he went down. I don't know if a turf monster got him or what, but he looks like he's in pain. I hope he's all right.
Somebody ran into him. It's Carl Paganelli. And let's look at the middle portion of the screen. He's around the 34-yard line and bumps into a member of the Bucks.
Yeah, that's Vi Jones.
Vi Jones just called up active for Tampa Bay. We hope seems to be okay, but needed the cart to leave the field. So they'll be a little short-handed here, the officiating crew, run by referee Trey Blake. That's an unusual way to open up a game. An injured official. Johnny Hecker back to punt. Trey Palmer standing inside the 15, ready to return. Hecker booms it away. And letting it bounce, rolling around the 26-yard line. Well, this Tampa Bay offense fired up because their quarterback is, and his career resurgence continues since going back to 2023. 52 touchdown passes, most in the NFL. You could throw on 6 more if you include the playoffs. And December 5th, 2 years ago, is when he was actually released by the Carolina Panthers. Turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to him.
You'd win a lot of bar bets if you place that one right there. Who leads the NFL in touchdowns since last year?
Rashad White. We'll see him and Bucky Irving in the same backfield. Good news for the Bucks. Tristan Wirfs who had been limited in practice, a game-time decision, and it was a good time for him to give it a go at left tackle and start. Justin School would be the backup should he need a break.
Yeah, but let's talk about Mike Evans back in the lineup last week, his first week back, missed weeks 8, 9, and 10, and you know, he looks great. Say he's running. They're going to try to open him up a little bit this week and see exactly what he has. He's right in the slot.
Low snap. Whistle blows. Baker brought down right away around the 20-yard line. Josie Jewell was there in a hurry.
Well, the low. There's Josie Jewell coming off the edge right here, and this is something you want to talk about, a change up here. Usually it's Tampa Bay bringing the heat, Tampa Bay's defense bringing the blitz, but they start right off the bat with Josie Jewell filling up and taking that sack.
Panthers only blitz about 29% of the time, slightly above the league average. Now 3rd and 12. See if they bring the heat again. Time for Baker, and overthrown. The coverage good on Mike Evans. It was J.C. Horn. Probably the best player on that Carolina defense, certainly their best cover guy.
Yeah, certainly, and he's just sitting back in his zone, but Mike Evans just running that curl, and he's the one that's going to lock up in this zone right here and defend this pass. But a lot of times what they'll try to do is get Mike Evans away from the short side of the field, out of the boundary, so he's not faced one-on-one with number 8 J.C. Horn.
Trenton Gill, 3rd year from NC State, punting for the Buccaneers. And a low kick that's going to bounce on that turf and roll. It's going to turn out to be pretty good for Tampa Bay, all the way down to around the 20-yard line. And they bring in an extra lineman. And it was interesting what one of his coaches said about when he got benched, the response. Of course, he addressed the team last week in the locker room as the handoff is to Chuba Hubbard, who is having his best season, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Yeah, with Bryce Young, it was at Jero Evero when we asked him about the change in the young quarterback, and he said, well, on the scout team, it was, you know, he attacked it, he hustled. We saw that effort in practice, and then when he got back the opportunity to start again, right, he exhibited such.
Yeah, and he talked about playing the game from the sideline, really getting a better global perspective on what was going on as an offense, and he really improved in that level of this game.
Back to Hubbard, smothered this time, and need to get to the 31 for a first down. There's Dave Canales, the former Buccaneer offensive coordinator. This is his first game as a head coach against his most recent former team, against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Dave talked about, you know, benching Bryce Young and just how difficult it was for him, but just understanding, you know, the overall perspective would grow for Bryce, and it certainly has.
And Young's going to run on 3rd and 3, and that lunge forward, it's going to be close. He needed to get to the 31. Looks like he might be a little bit short, even with the reach. Antoine Winfield brought him down.
You know, these are the things we've talked about, just making decisions right here. Front side of that progression is covered up. He just takes off and tries to get that first down. Just came up short, apparently, on the spot.
Yeah, they marked him based on where the knee went down. That's why the fans didn't like it. It looked like it was a little closer to the 31. It's actually at the 30, and no hesitation here, given where they are on the field. Bring out the punting unit. Hecker, another short kick. There's not a lot of wind here. I'm not sure both punters are having trouble. It's around the 36-yard line to somehow get into the playoffs, maybe even still win the division.
Yeah, the one team on their schedule that has a winning record there. You saw it, the Chargers, but I'm telling you, offensively, this team is uniquely built. They're playing pretty good offense right now.
Rachaad White following blockers, who's got a first down up near the 48-yard line.
I love it. Well, they just come in with a counter, right? They get Wirfs back, and they're just going to get some pullers over here. Use that big guy out there at left tackle, get him on the other side in a little gap offense, let him lead the way, and you see White, just nice cutback on that, really pressing that front side of the hole, following those offensive linemen, and then once he sees that sliver of daylight, putting his foot in the ground and getting back on the backside.
Picked up 11. Now Bucky Irving, the rookie, is in with Rachaad White. That's Irving, who's an excellent receiver. The pass is dropped by a future Hall of Fame receiver, Mike Evans. That doesn't happen very often. Again, he's working his way back slowly off of that hamstring. Not 100%, but getting there. It was
that got tipped.
Deflected.
Yeah, right. Shy Tuttle.
Yeah, Tuttle got his fingers on that.
Well, I tell you what, that's it. That's exactly what takes your eye off that ball. If you're Mike Evans, that tip all of a sudden comes in there at a little different level, a little different wobble to it, and there's the reason. Shy Tuttle getting his paw on that one.
Sterling Shepard dancing around the bottom portion of your screen. Blitz is on. Shepard has it. Blockers in front. And Sterling Shepard will get down to around the 31-yard line. Stepping in after the injury to Chris Godwin took him out, and the Bucs have adjusted nicely in their passing game.
Well, that's using the snap count to your advantage. They have the dummy snap count on, and it shows the blitz right here. That's Smith Wade. It shows the blitz, and then they just throw that ball right into that bubble screen off that blitzer. Gives wide open spaces for Sterling Shepard. So that's Baker Mayfield using the snap count to his advantage as an offense. Really smart football there by the quarterback.
Picked up 21 yards. Now that's Cade Otton moving around the tight end to help open a hole for Bucky Irving, who spins inside the 20 and picks up a first down. This is the fourth ranked offense in the NFL. They average over 28 points a game.
Yeah, watch the tight end come in here, and he's going to come across formation, right? Little wham block to set that up, and it's perfectly executed. Bucky Irving hugging that wham block, getting back inside. Nice little change of pace from what we've seen from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, using the tight ends to kind of create a crease on the inside run game.
Irving leads all rookie running backs in total scrimmage yards. Back to the pick from Oregon to the 15-yard line. Bucky Irving at 22, drafted in the 4th round. Rashad White in his 3rd year, drafted in the 2nd round. And this Carolina defense has had their injury problems since Derek Brown went out early in week 1 of the season, but the return of DJ Wanham has helped.
Yeah, it certainly has. And then the best player on their team, everybody talks about it, J.C. Horn. He's had injuries early throughout his career, but playing at a very high level right now at the cornerback position.
Back to Bucky Irving, and gobbled up right away by Cam Gill, 5th-year player from Wagner. Plays over on that side where Wanham plays. Baker Mayfield did call this the most balanced offense he's ever been on. They were last in the league last year in rushing. They're top 10 this year. They're also a top 10 passing team. Faced with a 3rd and 4 in their 2nd possession. Rashad White has it. Gets down around the 10. He's going to be short of the first down. Looks like Baker was maybe thinking about keeping that thing. Let's see if the Buccaneers, on a 4th and 1, they're going to stay out there. And
as well they should. I mean, they're one of the best red zone teams in football, Chris. And I love that 3rd down and 4. When you keep your options open to be able to run the football, what that does for you in pass protection, what that does for you as an offense to keep your quarterback clean, makes all the difference in the world on this 4th down.
They're 5 out of 9 going on 4th this year. And Rashad White is having some problems, but it looks like that 2nd surge may be enough, and it was enough for a first down. They're going against what is at least statistically marked the worst team in stopping the run, Carolina.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they've really done. They're not the biggest group up front, but playing with leverage. Look at Bredesen down there getting dirty. Barton, their rookie center, really good player, has really made a difference from them. Mauk, their right guard, has really played a lot better this season. So they're not the biggest group, but boy, technicians, they're all technicians.
Bucky Irving has it and slices his way inside the 5-yard line. Irving, an interesting player because he's 2nd among rookie rushers. He already has 5 rushing touchdowns. He's an excellent receiver, as you have pointed out.
I'm telling you what, he is a complete running back, Chris, and he's one of those guys that not only smaller dude, but runs hard, has great vision, slashy type runner between the tackles. Usually don't think about little guys that way, but I think he's got the skill set to be a slot receiver as well. Catches the ball exceptionally well, and it's a big part of the plan down here in the red zone to get him the ball, throwing it to him.
Baker's throw knocked away in the end zone. Trying to go to Cade Otton, who is tied for the lead on the team with 50 catches. J.C. Horn ended up picking him up.
He's going to run a little option route on J.C. Horn, and J.C. Horn's having none of it. He goes, I cover receivers. You're a tight end, dude. Stop it.
Do they really disrespect tight ends that much?
Of course they do. He's a corner, and he's used to that. And, you know, the cool thing about that, Cade Otton has really taken the place in those little option routes underneath third downs of Chris Godwin, who's one of the best football players on Tampa, who broke his ankle earlier in the season.
Excuse me, Evans, bottom of your screen. Baker is going that way, and the coverage by Mike Jackson was maybe too good. We'll see. The flag is thrown.
Well, he stays engaged. Remember, after 5 yards, then it becomes illegal contact. So good contact right there, but stays connected and in contact with Mike Evans about 7 yards off the line of scrimmage.
All right, so it's going to be a first and goal. And Vita Vea, the outstanding defensive lineman, is in to power the way through. Boy, I saw him against the Giants just knock people over like it was a freight train coming through there.
Man, I want him to score. I called a game in 2019 against Atlanta where he scored. I want him to score. Give it to the big fella.
Bucky Irving tries to go the other way, and the Panthers slam him down when he got around the 1 yard line.
Well, I was right, Chris. Did you see Vita Vea? I mean, he didn't even block anybody. If they'd have given him the ball, he'd have scored. He hit his head on the field goal post. Watch him. Watch him walking away from this thing right here. Down there at the bottom. Look at this. He's open. He just walked right in. He'd have walked right in.
Almost 350 pounds of man right there.
People don't realize this, man. The guy played running back in high school. Vita Vea did.
He's quick. Right now, maybe not as quick. 3 tight ends. Baker Mayfield end zone. High, one-handed, hauled in, and that's a touchdown for Mike Evans. It's a Buck score on a terrific catch from an outstanding talent. We'll check the feet, but the official right there threw his arms in the air.
Good on good, and Baker recognizes inside leverage by J.C. Horn. He just throws it up to the big fella, and look at the feet. Look at the one hand, Mike Evans. Wow, are you kidding me? What a catch. Look at him fending off J.C. Horn with his left hand, goes up, stabs the ball with his right hand, and tippy-toes himself in there. What a outstanding throw and catch, Baker to Evans.
At 6'5", he looked like he was a 7-footer hauling that in. The extra point by Chase McLaughlin is good.
And that's exactly what they do.
Although they were waiting. The hand, you talk about.
There it is right here. Look at the space that you've got, and bam,
and that's
one-handed catch.
That's Horn, who you said, handled the tight end, couldn't handle the great receiver. 101st touchdown catch for Mike Evans. That hand warmer for Baker, that throw was fire, I'll tell you that. Look at him, he's over there, he is hot.
Yeah, he got his hand warmer back. You see it around his waist right there, so that's nice.
And touchback, let's check in with Jen.
Chris, a little update for you from back in the locker room on umpire Carl Baganelli. He went down at the very beginning of the game with some contact from other players. So the good news is he's going to be fine. He was actually carted into the locker room. He went straight back to the x-ray room where x-rays were performed. I was standing there when he limped out. He got into a wheelchair and was wheeled back to the officials' locker room. No specific diagnosis. He will not be able to return to the game tonight, but all in all, in the long run, he's going to be just fine, thankfully.
All right, well, good, Jim. We're glad he's all right. And, I mean, Mike Pereira will update us on how that might affect the flow of the game. That umpire calls in the middle of the field as Bryce Young is in trouble, dumps it off to Jonathan Brooks. And look at the rookie go all the way up near the 49-yard line. He debuted last week against the Chiefs, but only carried a couple of times. And made a lot happen on that. So did Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young, Elijah Cansey getting in right off the bat. And Bryce Young, first off, you've got to be able to avoid the pass rush and know exactly where your guy is, your outlet right there. Brooks gets it on him, and then Brooks makes a couple of guys miss. They're really excited to have Brooks off that ACL that he tore in college to be able to, take some of the pressure off of Chuba Hubbard.
Picked up 18 yards. First running back drafted in 2024. And carries there. Mike Pereira, what impact will that umpire being out of this game have on the rest of the officiating crew?
It's got a big impact on offensive holding, quite frankly, because he leaves his position in the offensive backfield, which leaves referee Trey Blake. He's basically in charge of officiating the 5 interior players now. So he's got the center, 2 guards, and the 2 tackles. And for Pags, I brought him in 1999. He's a great official, and just hate to see that injury. But there'll be 2 guys on the line, 3 deep, but only 1 in the offensive backfield.
Thank you, Mike. And, of course, Mike Pereira will be watching to make sure that the correct calls are made as Young throws. And open right on target is Bryce Young to Lee Getz. Nice tie, Anna, by the way. Notice that Grinch tie? You know Mike's one of the nicest guys.
Well, as soon as you're down one official, that's a key to me. Start holding, but you're just going to get the outside receiver. And great blitz pickup, pressure pickup by Brooks there, which allows Bryce Young to have that time. But this is what we're talking about. On time, on target with the football. His sense of timing is so much better since he's taken that time on the bench, played 5 games behind Andy Dalton, and the 5 games that he's played since, he's really had a much better sense of timing and overall perspective of the offense.
He fakes and has time on this and gets rid of it wisely as the ball. We haven't seen an official signal. It looked like he was throwing it forward like an incomplete pass. But that might be, is that an illegal? Yeah, it's incomplete. Okay, I thought Trey Blake was on that.
Well, here he's climbing the pocket, and this is something he's done much better. Climbing the pocket, the awareness there, and certainly is throwing that. Now, I don't know that there's a receiver anywhere near that.
And Moten touched it, the right tackle. So is that?
I thought it touched the defensive player first. Did it touch Cansey first?
Well, Cansey had his arm or elbow.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. Second down.
No, right there.
Okay, fair enough.
Logan Hall.
Yeah, Logan Hall was the guy. Yeah, Bryce Young, though, dropped those. He started those previous 4, and they were 2-2 during that stretch. He's got 5 touchdown passes, 1 each, at least in each of the last few games. And again, they had won back-to-back games before taking the Chiefs to the wire. And he's just been dropping some dimes here, much more comfortable. On a 2nd and 10. Blitz coming. It's picked up. He's got a moment in the middle of the field and brought down short of the first down. That's David Moore, who's become the go-to guy.
And I love that right there for Bryce Young, right? He's looking to the right side of the football field, the 3-by-1 formation as they motion the back out there. And he senses that blitz. He peeks early, just climbs the pocket, dumps it off to Moore, who's just running a spot over the ball. That's the thing he's been doing so much better, understanding where I'm trying to go with the football, but where my check down is.
Chuba Hubbard will try and pick up the first down. And it's going to be close. He got inside the 30, and now a 4th down decision for Dave Canales in Carolina. It's a 47-yard field goal try, and that's what they're going to line up for. The fans here are booing. And I don't know. What do you think about this call versus less than a yard?
Well, Dave Canales obviously wants to put points on the board, and you put a drive together, your defense playing okay. This does not bother me from the standpoint of, Tampa Bay is a big blitz team. They catch you with something, turn around quickly. So I don't mind the call for Dave Canales.
All right, 47-yarder is good.
A lot of respect, mutual respect by both teams shown.
And Sean Tucker on the return across the 25-yard line. Tucker part of that backfield. At times they've had Rashad White, Bucky Irving, and him in there. They're trying to share the load. Great free agent signee a year ago from Syracuse by Tampa Bay. First couple of possessions. But you're right, and it's obvious, even without Chris Godwin, and they miss him a lot, but Mike Evans, and even Bakersfield and Liam Cohen, offensive coordinator. Boy, defenses just think differently when he's out there.
Yeah, no question about it. You see him, they're using him toward the wide side of the football field. That keeps him away from J.C. Horn. You can see J.C. Horn over here, Mike Evans down here on the wide side.
Bucky Irving gets the handoff and tripped up right away. And we mentioned Canales being elevated to head coach. There's Liam Cohen, who is the offensive coordinator in his first year, and he has done an amazing job. Son of a coach and head coach, his name being kicked around, bandied about, but he's settling in with Baker in this offense and enjoying it.
Yeah, no question about it. He's been so good, and the law of unintended consequences. You had a couple of guys get injured on this offense, and it's developed into that two-back set that they use in Cade Otton, and so they've made some changes.
Baker's throw and a grab on the hand of Sterling Shepard, but no flag. Mike Jackson was there on the coverage, and it's going to be 3rd and 9.
Mike Jackson does a really good job.
Yeah, did he?
But watch him turn his hips. Watch him turn his hips on this pump fake by Baker. Right? He's going to get pump fake. No, turn your hips and run. And that's just, that to me is good coverage. I know that everybody wants a flag on every play in today's game, but
okay.
But Mike Pereira said they're not calling holding anymore inside. So I'm saying let's not call it on the outside either. How about that?
Fair enough. Baker handles an awkward snap and on the move throws behind and incomplete for Trey Palmer. Baker had room to run for the first down, but he thought he saw something. Not sure what's going on between Graham Barton, the rookie center, who's played so well. Panthers adding a field goal a moment ago, and defense coming up with a big stop. Gill back to punt for the Bucs on 4th and 9. Back to return Devin Tompkins, a former Buck, and Raheem Blackshear. Punts so far have kind of been bouncing around on this cool evening. In Charlotte, nice high kick. No fair catch. Blackshear brought down right away. Let's go down to the field in general.
Guys, we talked at the top about Bryce Young and his rejuvenated self. Dave Canales has some changes of his own, some adjustments for this offense, and one of the main ones is getting out of the huddle to the line of scrimmage much faster. Absolutely, with no less than 15 seconds left, hopefully 18 to 19 seconds left. That is a goal that they've been getting a little bit better at each week, and Canales said, look, it pays huge dividends. It gives everybody a chance to really understand the call, and it gives him a little more time to talk to Bryce Young.
Yeah, because the play audio shuts off 15 seconds remaining on that play clock. Thank you, Jen, as Chuba Hubbard is trying to find a hole, and he'll lose yardage. Yaya Diaby. Outstanding play on the backfield.
Yeah, really good job of Diaby, just keeping his shoulders square and shuffling down the line of scrimmage, never getting turned. He's up top here, and he just keeps it square down here. And then as that bounce back, first off on the front side, really establishing that edge, making that running back turn back to those free hitters, those guys, let those guys eat on the backside.
Look at that backfield. Snapping out of it, and a quick throw is Leggett on the reception, who gets the first down to the 38 of Carolina.
Just a little RPO, and you're just looking at the guy on the end of the line of scrimmage right here. It's Nelson, right? Watch him play RPO. If he sits there, expands with that motion, dump that ball over to Leggett, and Leggett's one of those guys, big body guys, athletic, really run after the catch.
Drafted in the first round, in fact, the 32nd pick. And now the leading receiver adding to his catch total. Young's in some trouble here and has to throw, backpedaling as Tremble was the target, but he was covered. And it'll bring up a second down. Anthony Nelson put the pressure coming in. And that's one thing, those ends with Joe Tryon-Shoyinka inactive, that he would like, Todd Bowles would like a little more pressure from the outside. He gets it from the interior of that line.
Yeah, there's no question about that. But that's one of those plays that goes unnoticed. It's an incomplete pass, and everybody kind of moans about it. But that's a really good play by your young quarterback, not putting it in harm's way, not avoiding the sack, and essentially just throwing that away. Live to fight another day on second down.
The blitz is on. Extra pressure picked up, and the throw. Wow. David Moore could not bring that in, but it was close to being delivered.
Well, first off, it all starts right here. Chuba Hubbard, watch him come in there, pick up that blitz, give your quarterback a clean pocket, and this is a really good throw right on the hands of Moore. And that's where you really want to bail your young quarterback out, right? He makes a great play, great throw. That would have been a tough catch, but one that David Moore would tell you, I got to make that for my young guy.
Acting like they're coming again with extra pressure. And here they come. Bryce Young is trying to run his way out of it and throws, and the catch is made. Down the sideline is Tommy Tremble inside the 25 of the Bucs. What a move by Bryce Young to make that happen.
Yeah, well, this is when you're in trouble. Your quarterback is out. Look at him out. That little pick stunt right here. And ultimately, Tremble keeps on the move. He decides, hey, my quarterback gets out of the pocket. Let me go give him somebody a target. I think that was Izzian that jumped down inside to try to take that away. And Tremble just makes the move off of the quarterback movement, off the defensive movement. Just having that vision and that spatial awareness to give your quarterback a target.
Young caught inside the 20. That previous play picked up 38 yards. That was to Tommy Tremble. This was to Dan Chisena, who was just promoted for this game with Jalen Coker, the other rookie receiver, the free agent from Holy Cross, who has a quad injury.
It's one thing that I've noticed in the last couple of weeks with Bryce Young. You see how quick he got rid of that football. You see just delivering the football, the first open guy. Don't look for something better. You never go broke making a profit. Just get the ball out of your hands. Let your receivers do things. Keep the chains moving. Kids in the second down and 5 here.
And they're going to get creative. Back to Young. Does he have anybody? He's pointing, and he'll get rid of that to play it safe. Overthrew the entire end zone, almost into the seats.
Well, Tampa does a good job of not getting fooled. They stay on their coverage principles right here. Get a little man-to-man. And that's one of those things. You want some zone stuff. You want those zone eyes to be peeking in the backfield, running up there to take on that, to take on that fake. And when you get the man coverage right there, those guys are running with their back to it, so they're not looking at all those fakes. And that's why nobody was open, and Bryce had to throw it away.
Live to play another down, and he has that on a 3rd down 4. Young's pass for Leggett, and thrown out of bounds, so Xavier Leggett had no chance. And here comes the field goal unit. It'll be Eddie Pinheiro.
And that's one where he just needs to be better there. You've got the one-on-one on the outside, the single high safety. Like we saw the difference between Baker Mayfield putting it on Mike Evans for the touchdown, and that one was an uncatchable ball. You got to give your guy an opportunity either to catch it or at least draw a penalty, draw a pass interference. Neither of those things are, you can't do either of those things when you throw a ball that's as errant as that one was.
Pinheiro is going to miss to the left from 38 after he made in the other direction from 47. The mass kicker, after he had been so good, he had made 33 straight under 40, but that comes to an end. So here come the Bucs with White and Irving. Their pony backfield. Those horses can run. Look out. This is Irving, and a flag as he's brought down at the 30.
Holding. Offense. Number 62. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's on the center from Duke, the rookie Graham Barton. At least that's the call.
Yeah, he's been really good, but he's in the middle right here. You can see him fighting against Tuttle, and gets a little grab right here. You see the jersey stretch, and That one was easy. It was an easy call. I tell you what, though, man, he's made a huge difference, not only in the run game, but in the screen game as well. Smart, athletic. I was talking to GM Jason Light. So the guy is so smart, really sets the protections.
Mayfield hesitates. Can he get away? No! Brought down at the 5 by Jadeveon Clowney, who was a game-time decision with some knee problems. Caught up to Mayfield.
I'm telling you, this is where you get locked up. Watch the guard come over. That's Mauk. He's going to come over and actually knock Jadeveon Clowney off of Gedeke. And that's where Gedeke gets beat out to the outside. It's that extra help. You're trying to go out there and do that. You don't see where the quarterback is behind you. And he's got more depth that actually hurt Gedeke at the right tackle position. That's how he gets beaten. It propels Jadeveon Clowney to the sack.
They had 5 sacks last week against Mahomes in Kansas City. And gaining some yardage here is Rachaad White, but it's going to be 3rd and a long ride. Yeah, for the season coming in, Carolina's defense only had 17 sacks, second fewest, but in the last couple of games, they've been able to apply pressure with Clowney and DJ Wonnum.
Yeah, they had 5 sacks last week against Kansas City. DJ Wonnum, who came back week 10, and he has had a sack in both games, so he's been a real difference maker off the other edge away from Clowney.
So a penalty and a sack, and a 3rd and 25 now. And the screen is dropped. It would have been a tight end screen. At least that was the plan. And I tell you, there's a flag down on the other side of the field away from the play. And some of the players are discussing things.
I think Barton was way downfield again.
And that was a receiver downfield. Offense, number 62. That penalty is declined. Result of play, 4th down.
Yeah, it was that. Boy, they're calling that a lot this year, the ineligible downfield, or they're noticing it more.
Yeah, well, I think it's been something, point of emphasis, something we used to get away with a lot back in the day. And a screen, anytime you want to be a good screen team, it's so much timing, so much acting to being a good screen team. And then your ability to stay down the line of scrimmage when you release. That time Barton just got himself too deep.
And the pressure on the punter, Trenton Gill. The ball comes out of there, and it's short of the 40. Let's check the exact spot of Tampa Bay. The Panthers are going to love where they're taking this ball over on offense. The pressure on Gill, standing inside his own end zone, forced the awkward punt. I want to see if nobody actually got a hand on it.
No.
But he felt the heat. He took over for Camarda earlier this year. And have been doing a decent job for Todd Bowles, but after that weak punt, now it's spotted at the 36-yard line of the Bucs, and here comes Canales and Bryce Young.
Yeah, it's been odd. I mean, all the punts, other than one punt, all the punts have just been kind of shanked.
Yeah,
they haven't been
sloppy.
very good. The punt game today has not been, and it's not windy. It's not particularly cold out.
Low 50s. It'll be in the 40s when the sun goes down for the second half. The pitch to Chuba Hubbard. And he slips a tackle. Here comes a flag as he goes out of bounds. We'll check on that penalty flag. Yeah, they give the Panther defense credit how well that they've done in this first half against this Buccaneer offense and given their team some good field position. Looks like KJ Britt is down for the Bucs. They're checking on him. Britt, one of the top tacklers on the team. And waiting on the flag what the call is. There's Britt. Already had an official carted away with injury. So they're down one. They have an umpire.
Personal foul. Illegal block ball waste. Defense, number 31. Penalty is half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
All right, I'm going to need some help on this one as Britt is helped off the field. Antoine Winfield Jr. is called for this infraction.
Well, when you come up and you're in run support, you're running that alley at the safety position, you're going to come flying into the screen. You cannot go low. You've got to take guys up. Like right here, Dean takes him up, but you see going down on Damian Lewis right there around the knees, outside the, you cannot do that as a defender. So that becomes an illegal kind of block below the waist.
You don't have to make contact, apparently. You could just go low. J.J. Russell has come in for Britt, the third-year player from Memphis, at that linebacker spot. Panthers in great shape. Trying to take advantage of a couple of penalties here. And that's going to be against the Panthers, it would appear.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So a little over anxious is Damian Lewis. As you pointed out, him and Robert Hunt have played really good football.
Really good football. But this is the problem with the Carolina Panthers. When you get into the red zone, it's execution issues, right? I mean, you just got yourself a penalty. You got yourself into the red zone, and then the false start puts you at 1st and 15. And it's really, I mean, it's incredibly difficult to overcome 1st and 15. But you get into the red zone, you have less space to do it as well.
Chuba Hubbard waiting for someone or something to create an opportunity. Bucs with a 7-3 advantage here. The Falcons lost earlier at home to the Chargers in the NFC South. And the snap to Bryce Young. Open. Thielen with a move inside the 10-yard line. Need to get to the 5 for a first down.
So much better rhythm to the quarterback, you know, getting in the back foot and just hit that back step, and then just getting the ball out of his hands, going through his progression quickly on the front side, get the ball out of his hands. That's where he's improved so much over the last several weeks. He was great last week. He's starting off that way again today.
Chuba Hubbard is a receiver. Bottom of your screen, empty backfield. They need 5. And Young has time. He can run it, and he's going to take off and go for the first down and for the touchdown. Bryce Young keeps all he had to do was hit the pylon. One official waited, another said he's got it.
There he is inside the pylon. Feet inbounds. That's a touchdown. Bryce Young. Love it. Robert Hunt over there celebrating the touchdown as well.
His second rushing touchdown of this season. Young looking like Baker Mayfield out there. Take that, he says, with an extra point. The underdog Panthers at home will add to their lead. Overcoming a penalty on 1st and 15, and Pinheiro, careful, to the left, but that one's good.
That's one thing Bryce Young has. He's got that athleticism. When things do break down, he's got that speed, that quickness to take advantage of those things, and gets it in with that run for the touchdown.
He'll come out to the 30-yard line. Problem here is Baker's 2 out of 8 against this Carolina defense today, and they haven't been able to break a run, as Bucky Irving may change that with a first down run. A pickup of 11 and a first down.
So you can see it right there, the scoring drive. 12 plays, 63 yards. The other 3, 9 plays, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, no yards. And the one thing you have to be is patient, and I love this by Liam Cohen, is, hey, let's start off with a run. Let's get ourselves into a rhythm. Now, the other thing I would love to see, their screen game. I think their screen game to their backs and their tight ends is just superb. I'd like to see them get back into that as well.
And Irving is buried. DJ Johnson just leveled him.
Wow, I mean, that's just taken on. Here he is right here. Watch him dip and take on the puller coming from the other side. That's Bredesen. Dip underneath, drive, make the tackle in the backfield. I mean, that is clinic tape right there by DJ Johnson.
Took Ben Bredesen with him. 2nd and 13 now. Mike Evans has 3 targets. Picked up a pass interference, and he has the touchdown catch. He's at the top of your screen. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout, Tampa Bay.
Timeout. Tampa Bay. Their first and a half. 30 seconds.
This is where it is so hard for a coaching staff to stay true to what you do and to stay true to running the football. And I know Liam, he's the son of a coach, right? His dad coached him in high school. They coached the wing T. There he is, the offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen. And I know he's got his dad's voice in his head right now saying, run the ball, son. Continue to run the ball. He watches his film every week, and he told me every week my dad says, hey, man, I'd like you to run it a little bit more. I'd like you to run it a little bit more. It's so hard as a coaching staff to stay true to that when you're constantly behind the chains like they've been here in the last several drives.
Yeah, and his Sean McVay influence, I'm sure, affected running the ball when he was with the Rams. That's where he and Baker first connected. And that's why he was thought of. In fact, Todd Bowles interviewed 8 candidates before for that OC job when Canales left. And he said, I'll tell you why, he went with Liam Cohen in a moment here. See if he has the answer. On 2nd and 13 as a flag flies. Flag is down.
Think they're going to get an illegal formation?
False start. Offense. Number 15. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So the rookie receiver, Jalen McMillan.
Yeah, he was on the ball covering up the tight end, and he was trying to get him to move back when they snapped the ball.
But Liam Cohen, Todd Bowles said a lot of guys had information, and it's when you don't have the answers and you admit to that, that impresses me, because then the guy will find the answers. And they're looking for some answers right now against this Carolina defense. On 2nd and 18. Baker fires, and there's a good way to answer. Sliding with the catch is Mike Evans.
I like that. Mike Evans extended that ball out before anybody touches him.
Good enough for the first down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just a heads-up play by Evans. Here he is against J.C. Horn. Get a little double move at the top, sticks him, and then watch him just put that ball out over the top of that first down marker. Wise decision, and there's Baker Mayfield just letting it rip one-on-one on the outside. I don't care who's covering Mike Evans. That's my guy.
Mayfield, middle of the field, open. Inside the 50 and down to the 21 is Mike Evans. 2nd game back after that hamstring. Didn't play weeks 8 through 10. He already has the touchdown catch to add to his most points in Buccaneer history, and adding some more yardage on this catch.
Yeah, just running the dagger here. The in-cutting route at about 18 yards, and there's Mike Evans coming into your picture. Baker Mayfield putting it out there perfectly, and boy, I tell you what, they're keenly aware of Mike Evans, that 1,000-yard streak, what he needs. This offense really wants to see him get that over the last several games of the season, so they really want to feed him the ball.
27 yards there. Quick flip to Bucky Irving. What a move he puts on. And Irving, he's inside the 10, down inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. Bucs behind Bucky.
Well, what did we talk about when this drive started? We talked about staying true to running the ball, and then I'd like to see them throw the ball to the running backs a little bit. Screens, swing pass. This is a great throw over the top of the defender, right on the hands of Irvin, and then he hits the brakes. It's the flyby. It's like it just stopping, letting guys fly right by him. It's like Top Gun, right? Hit the brakes, let them fly right by. Bucky Irving getting yards after contact.
Irving tackled high when he got inside the 5. But Bucky Irving has been quite a find. I mean, you mentioned General Manager Jason Light, who's done a tremendous job through the Brady years and with Baker Mayfield, but it's also through the draft with John Spytek, assistant GM. A number of the guys in the front office, Mike Greenberg, just the money guy, and they just stay competitive, going for their 5th straight trip to the playoffs, trying to win a 4th straight division title. They rallied last year in the second half and in good position right now as Baker throws and incomplete. Sterling Shepard the target. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, it's just perfectly done right there. A little pick route. Evans opening that up, and Sterling Shepard just right through the wickets. Beautiful throw. I don't think he'd have gotten in anyhow. But Woods would have probably made that tackle, but you'd have been 3rd and goal from the 1.
Shepard.
Close to the 4, excuse me.
That's right. Former Giant, former Oklahoma Sooner. Evans in the slot to the left here. They haven't converted a 3rd down yet in this game. There's a lot of pointing going on. And here's a flag, and it's against the Bucs.
False start. Offense. Number 17. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
The call against Shepard. So trouble with a pass, trouble with a formation, and a stare from his head coach.
Well, this gives you a little bit more space down there to work the high-low game between your receivers.
And that's Evans in motion here. Baker goes the other way for Sterling Shepard, and off his hands. Would have been a tough catch, but good coverage there by J.C. Horn. Horn's just not breaking up passes. He came in here leading all corners in the league and run stops as well. He's having a terrific season.
J.C. Horn is going to take 1/2 the field right there. You see him. He's man-to-man on Shepard. Does a really good job of forcing him to the edge, staying big out there, making it a tough throw for Baker Mayfield. And the difference between that throw and the one he had to Mike Evans is Mike Evans is so much bigger. He can go up and get that. Shepard not having the height that Evans does.
Chase McLaughlin now has made 22 straight field goals.
Rallied the troops in the locker room, talked about how good this team could be. They're not where they need to be, but really he's taken on that leadership role and kind of feeling like that Alabama quarterback they drafted #1 overall.
And we're coming out to the 30-yard line. Just got to give him credit, too, because from his first game in the NFL, having called that and been around him in meetings, to his benching, to his opportunity to come back as he's set to throw, and on the move he does. Thielen has it across the 45. He really has maintained a high level of professionalism, has Bryce Young, and is getting better with each opportunity.
Yeah, and this is some things they've really installed in this offense, right? That RPO game, hand it to the back, find your guy at the second level. That's Adam Thielen back after 7 weeks last week on the IR with that hamstring injury, and he's really their go-to 3rd down intermediate route runner. But those are the things they're creating. That's just pretty much a single read kind of offense for Bryce, making it as easy as possible, and he's executing it well.
Jonathan Brooks had a big catch and gain for 18 yards in the opening quarter. Carries here. And if they get him more involved, that was the plan when they drafted him with Chuba Hubbard to create that 1-2 punch.
Well, Chris, in my second year in the league, I got benched for a while, and it's absolutely humiliating. But you know what? To Bryce's credit, he really embraced it, really learned the game from the sideline, really went to work every day, and you see it paying dividends now. Really leaned into Andy Dalton, the backup quarterback, and really became more of a professional over the course of that time.
Yeah, he wasn't bitter at all. I mean,
No.
obviously he was disappointed, but he learned some things about himself, the heat coming, and he gets rid of that. He was lucky to get that away in the area of Thielen. There's a flag down, and we'll check the hit. Yeah, Diaby.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 0. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Well, this is about this is a low hit. It has nothing to do. This is about as unrough as a roughing the passer can be. And I hate that. You started
that's not a
it's a
good
bad call. No, you
Okay.
started the hip. right? And you slid down as the quarterback's running away from you. There's nothing you can do. It's so hard to play defense in this league because, they're so uber protective of the quarterback, but that should not have been called. That's just a bad call.
Fresh set of downs from the 45 for the Panthers. Brooks from the 35, excuse me, as he gets inside the 35-yard line in Tampa territory. Late hit or
roughing the passer.
Yeah, and he said it was because it was low, but that should have not been called. Either way, 5th penalty on Tampa Bay. Bucs with a 2nd down, 9. And Bryce Young sideline throw well covered over there. It'll be 3rd down. David Moore, the target. Zion McCollum, who leads the Bucs in interceptions, was on the coverage.
It's really interesting watching this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Todd Bowles was a teammate of mine with Washington when I came into the National Football League. He's a guy that has a reputation of heating quarterbacks up, especially young quarterbacks. The first half last week against the Giants, 75% blitz rate. Haven't really seen a lot of pressure. I think Carolina's done a great job of picking up the pressure they brought, but I've expected to see a lot more edge pressure, a lot more all-out blitz against this Carolina team, and they really haven't come with it.
Yeah, I think in the second half it's something to watch for. And so that makes the NFC South now with Atlanta falling to 6-6. But again, Atlanta has the tiebreaker within the division, and they've beaten the Bucs twice. So Tampa Bay needs to win this and at least finish out either one game ahead of Atlanta or hope they stumble further.
Yeah, there's no question about that. They've got to really win out. That's what they've got to be thinking. Like I said, one game against a winning team, that's against the Chargers. The rest of their schedule, it's the lightest or the easiest schedule in the NFC remaining. So Baker Mayfield there and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have their work cut out for them, but they've got a path.
After this, they play the Raiders, then the Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, and then the Saints to close it out. They got to take care of business here, and this will go against Carolina.
False start. Offense, number 83. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
On the veteran receiver, David Moore. That's really rough coming out of a timeout. The Bucs will get the ball to start the second half.
I've always been baffled about receivers that jump offside because your whole job is to look down at the ball. And, you're not really listening to the cadence. So I understand when the quarterback's right underneath the center and he gives you a hard bark out call as a guard or as a tackle, but as a receiver, all your head's pointed in looking at that ball. I never understood that one.
That's a 3rd one by a receiver today. Young underneath to Thielen, who will get them inside the 30 once again. Closer to a 1st down and closer to field goal possibility here. It would be in the neighborhood of a 45-yarder on 4th. Bucs get the ball, as I said, to start the 3rd quarter. See, here's where I think I might try to take the field goal. What do you think?
Yeah, well, they're going to take the field goal.
Okay.
And I agree with that as well. I mean, I understand that you invest a lot of money in 2 offensive guards and, you want to control line of scrimmage. But you look what they're doing right now against this Tampa Bay offense. That defense is, and points are a premium. They've handcuffed Tampa Bay a little bit, this high-scoring offense. So, now it becomes one of those games where you're finding ways to win. I like this field goal for Eddie.
45 yards away, he missed from 38, going wide, and that went left. So he's just 1 out of 3 in what are considered makeable field goals, and maybe that'll change some decisions on that sideline going forward.
Well, I mean, snap, hold, dead level perfect, and that's 2 that he's missed wide left.
Yeah, both of them in the same vicinity. And we got a 10-10 game. Boy, the NFL this year, I gotta tell you, Mark, it's been incredible. 1-score games through Thursday and Friday. 3 out of 4 were 1-score. In the early games, we showed you some of the headlines. 6 out of 7 were 1-score games. In the late games here, all 3 are within 1 score. And it really doesn't matter what your record is. You're going to be in for a battle. And here comes Baker, and there's a flag, and Kate Otten the target.
Yeah, J.C. Horn just going over the top. Getting there way too early. That's an easy one.
Pass interference. Defense, number 8. By rule of the ball, if we play that spot on a foul, automatic first down.
There's J.C. Horn right here. He's just going to get over the top. It's Caden Otten. Look at this. Run this seam right here, and he's that deep third defender way early on that one. Yeah.
And that was J.C. Horn again on
J.C. Horn disrespecting Cade Otten.
I was surprised to see Otten having a career year receiving wise, that obviously with Godwin out, but the leading receiver in a number of catches for the Bucs coming into this game. And short. It's Otten again. Among areas that the Panthers have struggled defensively inside the final few minutes of the first half, they've allowed 48, second most in the NFL. Raiders the most, but they might get Baker. He gets out of it, throws, and the catch made by Otten. He gets the first down, and that deserves a wow.
That does deserve a wow, because that looked like he was just going to try to throw it away. He spins out and goes, hey, look what I found.
And another ref got knocked out. I think it was Trey Blake, and Baker had to help him up on the back end of this play. But they're hurrying with one timeout. Mayfield looking around and will float one. That's taken away. Coming in for the pick. Carolina with a takeaway. Shaw Smith-Wade, their 12th takeaway of the season.
Well, that's one where Baker Mayfield would love to have that one back. I mean, obviously, he pump fakes. Watch him pump fake, and he should have just thrown it right there. Understand when the play is over. Get the ball out of your hand right there. It's his competitiveness is his biggest strength, also his biggest weakness. He pulls the ball down, decides maybe I can get something better, and then he goes back late. Well, at that point, Smith-Wade is already all over Cade Otten right there for the interception.
The 5th-round rookie from Washington State with his first career pick. A turn of events. Still 10-10. Short. Trying to get in field goal range at midfield. They have 2 timeouts, do the Panthers, and they'll use one here on 2nd down 3. Well, that's a rough first half for Baker Mayfield. I mean, he's got the touchdown, but he's 7 out of 16 with an interception. And Bryce Young is 10 out of 18, over 130 yards and a touchdown run.
He's been very good in recent weeks, you know, being judicious with the football, not turning the football over. And he and offensive coordinator Liam Cohen had talked about, hey, man, for us to get where we want to go, we've got to eliminate turnovers. We've got to be careful with the football. And he's done a really good job the last several weeks. That one, just a bad decision by Baker.
Yeah, meanwhile, good decisions from Bryce Young for the most part. What a journey. Philadelphia born for Bryce. Moved on to Pasadena, California at an early age. Plays at Alabama. And now home in Charlotte, North Carolina, trying to lead the Panthers to their 3rd win in their last 4 games. Wide open, and carrying it out of bounds is Tommy Tremble. Stops the clock. 34 seconds remain in the timeout for the Panthers.
Well, for the Panthers, good decisions right there. If they're going to give you that sideline, if they're going to play off coverage, then take it and just keep moving the ball ever closer down the field and conserving your timeouts. At some point, you got to press up here, and you can't leave that easy access to the outside. But they're off again down here at the bottom. Look at the space.
How much faith do they have in their kicker at the moment? Extra pressure picked up and dropped. That was in and out of the hands of David Moore. It's a good throw dropped in there by Bryce Young.
Yeah, the second drop for David Moore. He had the one on the sideline as well, and you know, you can see the frustration. He's a big-time professional football player, and you know, he's smart and works his butt off, and Here you have some pressure. We talked about the blitz, throwing, stare in the face of Vita Vea right there. That's scary, and you just got to come down with that for your quarterback. You got to make that play if you're David Moore.
Pressure again, and this one held on to inside the 25 is Tommy Tremble. Last week he only had 1 catch. Already he's got 3. Carolina uses the timeout. 22 seconds showing on the clock. Pickup of 19 yards.
Bryce Young just in the pocket. Perfect setup. Look at the balance, the feet, and just puts it right between the 8 and the 2 on that crosser.
You know, not only is he playing better, Mark, but this was mentioned here. Canales was part of this team last year as an offensive coordinator and was asked, just like Todd Bowles, hey, you guys know each other very well. I mean, we're not that far removed. Who knows each other best or who has the advantage? And they both kind of tossed that aside. Hey, you can't overreact. You lean on some of that. But certainly Canales seems to have the upper hand in this, at least using some of that knowledge against the Bucs so far.
Well, it certainly understands the blitz pickup game right now because they've brought pressure several times, and Carolina has done a really good job of keeping their quarterback clean versus the blitz.
No timeouts. Carolina. Safe sideline throw. Moore hangs on here and gets them a little closer. Well, now field goal is one thing, but you've got the first down. You can try for the end zone here.
Yeah, you've got several plays here. You got 19 seconds left. You can still complete one in the middle of the football field, get up there and spike it. You've got enough time to do that, but you can take several shots to the end zone if you so choose.
They have handled the blitz well. Have the Panthers and Bryce Young. Impressive on this drive. 4 out of 5. That's Trumbull in motion. Young will get rid of it. 14 seconds remain. Still time, as you said, Mark, to do almost whatever you want. So you got it down to spike it. KJ Britt mentioned his injury. He's questionable. And Mike Edwards questionable with a hamstring, and that's big because he started for Jordan Whitehead, who went on injured reserve, and they're also down with Tyke Smith out. So thin in the Tampa Bay secondary. Tavier Thomas has come in as an extra DB. Young, open, catching out of bounds. Moore. Well, they are giving them a lot of room over there.
Yeah, well, we talked about it. I mean, we talked about all the space they're given on the outside so they don't get beat over the top, but you're just giving up that out route. And Bryce Young's taking it and getting out of bounds and saving time on the clock. 11 seconds now. You can still throw a couple. Well, it's third down, so you can still throw one into the end zone.
But can't stop the clock. Obviously, if you catch it in the field of play, you've got to score with it or get out of bounds. Young will fire and out of bounds. Thielen eventually. It took a second effort for the fingertip grab, but it took him out of bounds on the way, and he says we should check that.
Yeah.
And we're within 2 minutes, so they'll review it anyway, but ruled not a touchdown.
All right, see, where does he gather? He's got it, working it. He's got it right there. Knees down, elbows down. That's a touchdown.
He knew it when he got up right away.
Now, does he control it all the way through the catch when he gets to the ground?
It's a good question. The official's right there.
I mean, right there, that looks like a touchdown, but the ball's hidden behind the field goal post.
Maybe this angle helps.
Does he maintain possession through the catch?
Yeah, they're looking at it as you just did.
I'm calling it a catch. I'm calling it a touchdown.
All right, we have our rules analyst Mike Pereira watching as well. Some confusion here. The play was upheld after the review, so they stayed with the call on the field that it was not a catch, even though Thielen tried to point out otherwise. The fans not happy with the call. So lining up for a field goal. Let's take another look. And Mike Pereira, real quick here. All right, we'll get your thoughts after they.
See, I thought right here he has the ball, knee, elbow in, and does it move right here? And that's what they're saying. Not enough to overturn the call. Thielen not happy about it.
I mean, if there was a bobble, the official was close enough to watch. So now he's missed 2 out of 3. This from 27 yards. Pinheiro. And a timeout, Tampa Bay. And Mike Pereira, your thought. Boy, the replay made it close, and Thielen sure thought he had it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he got down in bounds with both a knee and an elbow, but you really never got the shot that showed that he controlled it when he hit the ground out of bounds. And so without that clear and obvious shot that there was no movement of the ball, that there was no loss of possession, they just had to stay with what the ruling was, which was incomplete pass.
All right, thank you, Mike Pereira, and that's an exceptional effort. It was a really good throw as well. So they're going to try for 3. Pinheiro, he made from 47, but then he's missed 2 wide left. 1 from 38 and 1 from 45. This, he's hoping.
Yes, I would too.
Oh, please help me out here.
Right.
From 27 yards away. My goodness, he's still flirting with that left side, but he got it through. And they're up 3. I mean, if he's got a golf swing, Mark, he's got to recorrect this thing or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing how close can I get it to the left upright, and this is another one. Not a great snap right there, but just squeaks it the inside of that left upright. Is, man, I'll tell you what, he's flirting with disaster right now.
2 for 4 today, but an impressive first half for Bryce Young. That's a career high for him in a first half of a game. Again, this is just his second season, but it just goes back to what we've been saying since that he returned from the benching and how well he's been playing. It was a very impressive drive there with little time to give his team a chance at a touchdown and get 3.
Really nice, tight 2-minute drive ending in what he thought was a touchdown throw, and that was a dime piece. You know, one of the things that he's been really good at here recent weeks is throwing guys open and using the leverage of defenders against them and understanding the difference between wide open in college and wide open in the NFL. And the NFL wide open is covered oftentimes, and you're just throwing away from the leverage of the defender, and he's done a really good job with that.
And you're going against one of the, the better teams. Talk about since 2020. I mean, best records in December and January. Bucs are 3rd on that list behind Buffalo and Green Bay. And bringing it out is Bucky Irving. And brought down at the 16-yard line as time expires.
For you just have to be patient as an offense, find yourself a rhythm, and then start to attack this defense. But you're 100% right. Carolina has done a really good job to this point defensively.
And Rakim Jarrett up near the 30 on the short kick. Let's check in with Jen Hale, who's with Dave Canales.
Coach, the rejuvenated version of Bryce Young on full display in that first half. What'd you like best?
Just the decisiveness, playing fast. No matter what they threw at him, they threw a bunch of difficult looks at him, and he just executed, found completion. So I love that. Took advantage of some field position switches there.
Defensively, how have you been so effective at affecting that Bucs offense?
Really, it's just the pass rush. We're getting there. We're putting pressure on the quarterback. We got to continue to do that. We got to do better on first down. That's where we're getting behind a little bit. We got to hammer the run game, and we got to make sure that we stop Mike Evans. Everybody knows that's a big deal.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
And Mike Evans comes out with a big catch on the throw from Baker Mayfield, rolling out just short. Well, they're going to give him credit. Boy, Evans makes sure he gets the first down right at the first down marker, so a fresh set of downs for the Bucs.
Well, it's like Canales knows what he's talking about, right? The pass rush. So what do? They boot him out of the backfield, right? Get him out on the edge, and then he said, hey, we got to shut down Mike Evans, and Mike Evans goes and gets the first down. So Really nice execution right off the bat by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Rashad White carries up to the 43. Let's get an update on Bucky Irving, Jen.
Chris, good news for Bucs fans. Bucky Irving out here on the sideline, stretching out his hip, preparing to go back in. He dinged his hip going in to the locker room that very last play in the first half. They checked it out at halftime, and it's something he thinks he can fight through, manage the rest of the game. So the Bucs certainly hoping to see him take the field here soon. He's got his helmet on, ready to go.
Thanks. That's encouraging. 7 touches, nearly 50 yards for Bucky Irving. Jalen McMillan in motion, and a flag flies. Penalties have hurt Tampa Bay. They've been sloppy in this game.
False start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty, second down.
The call on Cade Otton, the tight end, who in the first half was targeted 4 times and had a couple of catches. And there are the penalties so far. And that controversial catch, Adam Thielen thought he had it, the double clutch, staying in bounds, but the ruling on the field in the end zone by the official right there was that it was incomplete. They reviewed it, and that call stood. Otherwise, Panthers would have a touchdown on the board other than just 3 with the lead. Pass caught by White. It'll bring up 3rd down. Need to get to midfield for a 1st down.
Tampa Bay has consistently put them pre-snap penalties, put themselves behind the chains with pre-snap penalties, and those are things, that's just concentration. And if you're Todd Bowles, man, it's so frustrating for your offense to, be in a 2nd down and short situation. All of a sudden that 2nd and short goes to 2nd down and 11 because of a pre-snap penalty. And those are the things that have been hurting this Tampa team throughout the first half, and they start right back where they left off in the 3rd quarter.
They need 9. Baker sees somebody, and it's almost intercepted. He was trying to get it to Evans, but Jordan Fuller got his hands on it. He feels like he could have had it or should have had it.
Well, he's just running down here. He's buzzing down right here, getting inside, and watch him just read the quarterback's eyes. He reads, breaks. He sees that in-breaking route from the outside to Mike Evans. He feels it. He's playing zone coverage. He's sitting there, and all he's doing is reading the quarterback's eyes and making a play on the ball.
That was a big play. His mother was a singer, performed with Whitney Houston. His uncle is the comedian Sinbad, not the sailor. David Moore will watch this punt bounce and then pick it up and eventually be brought down short of the 20, around the 19-yard line. But the Panthers have the ball back, and after a 47-yard punt and a 7-yard return, Chuba Hubbard in the backfield. Young to throw, has time. There's a flag, and the catch is made by Leggett, who puts a move on. Brought down at the 40.
I think you're going to get a pass interference against Dean.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 35. That penalty is declined. Zone to play, 1st down.
All right, there they are, one-on-one out here on the top, and just watch the top of this route, the top of the stem. Gets that release, and then right here, little grab. Good route, good run after the catch by Leggett.
Buccaneers have not sacked Bryce Young in this game after a 21-yard pickup. Hubbard, big hole. Brought down just short of midfield and just short of a 1st down.
Well, you mentioned the fact that they have not sacked Bryce Young to this point yet. And, I'm a big believer in playing to your identity, play to your strengths. And for me, I look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, what do they do the best? Well, it's when Todd Bowles has his guys heating people up, play a little bit man coverage, go ahead and attack this Carolina offense, see if you can pressure the young quarterback, see if you can get him on the ground, and they really have not been able to do that so far today. Some of that obviously is Dave Canales in this offense, but some of that's just a lack of just bringing pressure.
And a throw as he got knocked down out of bounds, and there's a flag on the other side of the field, not in the area of Young or where the ball was thrown. Winfield put the heat on, so he was blitzing, as we were just talking about. Wondering if it's an ineligible or if they're, as he threw that way out of bounds.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, second down.
I believe, yeah, it's Damian Lewis. See here, Mark.
Well, the whole offensive line was downfield illegally. Okay. I mean, look at Robert Hunt down there about 4 yards deep, just throwing bear claws on people.
I think they were discussing the possibility of grounding if they wanted. It's a 2nd down 6. Losing back to the 44-yard line. Extra pressure. He has a moment, and right at midfield, the catch made by Thielen. Let's check in with Jen.
Chris, to Mark's point just a moment ago about this Bucs pass rush, I got to talk to him at halftime, and I said, what is going on with your defense? And he said our pass rush lanes are just terrible. We don't have lane integrity, and that is something we absolutely must improve if we want to get to Young and rattle him the way we should be.
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, he said, we asked him about that last night. He said, well, we have our run blitz, our pass blitz, and then he smiled and said, we got the lead blitz. But I wonder if you're trailing by 3 blitz to try and put pressure.
Right, exactly. And we saw some edge pressure right there by Antoine Winfield. We'll see if they continue to bring that edge pressure.
The pass is incomplete. Stephen Sullivan, former Seahawk out of LSU, drafted by the Seahawks, who looks like he's in pain. He was just called up off the practice squad. More of a blocker special teamer was the target, and he looks like he's hurting over there.
Well, that day you saw a little man coverage right there, a little pressure. 5 guys on the blitz playing man free, single free safety in the middle of the football field. And this is more like what the Tampa we're used to. Bringing pressure, bringing an extra guy, at least 1 or 2 extra guys in that pass rush.
And Hubbard will pick up a few. It'll be 3rd down. Need to get to the 40 for a first. Panthers have missed a couple of field goals, or this lead would be even bigger, and had a tough touchdown catch that they didn't get, thought they had, that was reviewed off the board. There's Eddie Pinheiro, who has made a couple, 2 out of 4 this evening. The temperature dropping here in the second half as the sun has gone down. On 3rd down. The pressure, it's well picked up. Sliding and incomplete, almost on the rebound. Leggett couldn't hang on, and Winfield almost came up with it.
Just a little bit behind the intended receiver by Young. Sets up, gets the ball out quickly. That's what you need. I don't know if that got tipped, but that's one that Leggett has got to come up with.
Yeah, there's been a few of those from the Carolina receivers that have not helped out their young quarterback. And for the Bucs, Mike Edwards and KJ Britt are out for the remainder of the game. They were injured in the first half. Panthers kicking it away. A high kick. And fair catch at the 22-yard line. So, playoff chances, well, entering today. This is Next Gen Stats. With a win, they increase to 61%. If they lose, drops to 30%.
Yeah, and the way they're playing right now, I mean, which is shocking because you watch them on film the last few weeks, especially with the return of Evans, they have really played well on the offensive side of the ball, and credit to the Carolina Panthers.
Bucky Irving back in the game, gets the handoff, and shows some quicks. Yeah, the Buccaneers, they have the most games in the NFL this year, 4, with 300 pass yards and 100 or more rush yards. And they've only they had 67 yards before that carry against a team that is last in the league and giving up yards.
Yeah, I think this style of defense by defense coordinator Ivero is one of those things that they just make you throw it underneath. They just make you nickel and dime down the football field. Really hard to get big plays.
It's a nice connection to Mike Evans for a first down near the 40. All right, so the Saints on the losing end so far from the NFC South. The Falcons lost at home to the Chargers earlier, and the Bucs have a chance to even their record at 6-6. Tighten things up at the top of the division. The ball is lost, but picked up by Irving, and he just keeps going.
And that's the kind of day it's been, though, right? I mean, bad punts, pre-snap penalties, bad snaps to Baker Mayfield, and then the handoff exchange off the chest to Bucky Irvin. Almost looked like he thought he was in blitz pickup, like he didn't know he was getting that ball. His eyeballs over there on Michael Jackson, number 2, and it's just been that kind of day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense.
Yeah, they seem a little thrown off by what the Panthers are doing on defense. Irving to the top of your screen as a receiver. Mayfield has a moment here, but he can't find anybody. He's going to try and run, and he's knocked down. He's done a good job. That was Barno, Amare Barno, coming off injured list. He's back with that knee injury, and they haven't let Baker run around in that pocket area.
Boy, they have done a good job of collapsing the pocket. There's Ray inside, and then Barno athletically not getting faked out by the little pump fake, keeping his feet on the ground and being able to just reach out and trip up Baker Mayfield on the ankles. I tell you what, I've got to give a ton of credit. There he is right there. Evero, defensive coordinator, really doing a good job with that defense, bringing pressure.
Here they come again, and they just bash Baker to the 33. Josie Jewell got there. And he's hurt.
Here's Josie Jewell coming in there, and they're just bringing pressure off the edge. I mean, everybody's coming right now. Feets the back, and
Josie Jewell, the nickname the Outlaw, like the Clint Eastwood movie character, Outlaw Josie Wales, throwing Baker to the turf. It's Kyle Trask, who is the backup second-round draft pick from Florida, who's been with the organization for 3.5 seasons. Hope that Baker Mayfield, and Mark, it looked like he got stepped on after he got thrown down.
Yeah, I was looking at the initial contact by Josie Jewell and thought something there, but he actually got stepped on by Jadeveon Clowney.
Headed to the injury tent as the punt will roll. The Bucs get a break to the 11-yard line. And a flag is down. Bucs have lost a couple of starters on defense. We've had an official go down with injury. Baker's over there on the injury tent. The punt rolled, so it's a 49-yarder at the moment. And I'm not sure what's taking so long. Here
After
we
the
go.
play, unnecessary roughness, receiving team number 3. Personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 53. Those penalties all set, first down.
Let's go back to what, see what happened to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, if you watch right here, you see that's the ankle right there of Baker Mayfield. So you watch this, he's going to get stepped on. That's Jadeveon Clowney. See him step on that ankle and just drive those cleats in there. That ankle twists, and that's the injury. And
Yeah, he was reaching for that right away. Here's another look at his reaction after.
yeah,
Mark.
right there.
Oh, man.
Those cleats on that ankle bone, that's painful.
Well, the penalty's offset. Panthers have the ball with a 3-point lead under 6.5 in the third. And Chuba Hubbard with a strong run to pick up 7 or so on first down.
Just get behind those offensive line, those guards and tackles we talked about. Hunt and Damian Lewis, even Cade Mays on the inside. And that's the strength of this offense, the strength of their offensive line. That little tight zone play by Chuba Hubbard, that's, they're real simplistic the way they run the football. It's not a lot of tricking you. It's just straight downhill, try to be more physical than you.
It's only his 8th carry in this game. And a high throw for Tremble as Young gets smothered when he let that go. Diaby put the heat on Bryce Young.
Pressure came from Diaby.
No, that's a smart play. Just throw it out of bounds. Don't give up an opportunity for the defense to make a play. Remember, this is exactly kind of the throw that Baker Mayfield made that got picked at the end of the first half, and that one gave nobody a chance to catch that football.
Panthers have not turned it over. That was one of the things Dave Canales addressed with the team earlier in the year. He said we have to stop turning it over, and then we'll find out who we really are, what our strengths and weaknesses are. That looked like somebody moved on the line as Bryce Young was tackled as he threw, and incomplete for Tremble. And no flag, so a big stop by the Bucs defense, and they needed it. Kyle Trask putting his helmet on, which would indicate he's going to be the quarterback as Baker Mayfield checks that lower leg injury and is in the injury tent. Trask was drafted in the 2nd round. No stats this year in the regular season. Didn't play a lot in the preseason for Tampa Bay. And the punt rolls inside the 35. He was 3 out of 9 in that game. He was a Heisman Trophy finalist after a 5-year college career at Florida. He's played a heck of a lot in the preseason with these guys. As Bucky Irving carries, Baker Mayfield has gone to the injury tent and is out now moving. Remember, he's a guy who didn't want to come out of the game. Even when he got beat up a little against the Giants when the game appeared to be well in hand last week with Tampa Bay in control of things. He's like, no, I want to be out there.
Yeah, you look at Baker Mayfield and they're going to need an army to keep him off the football field. He's pacing right now.
Yeah, he'll fake the limp just to get back out there. That's Rachaad White, bottom of your screen. See what Trask can do after a 4-yard pickup. And a quick toss. That's Bucky Irving. And Irving will be close to a first down. And here comes Baker Mayfield, just like that. 2 plays, he's back. Boy, it looked pretty, like I said, it looked awful from what you were showing us. Yeah.
Sure, but anytime you get one of them cleats on the bone, I mean, that in and of itself, that'll just sting, obviously. And then you get a little twist in there on top of that. And Baker Mayfield, though, he's as tough as they come.
Absolutely. No 3rd down conversions so far. 0 for 7. Mayfield is going to throw, and it's intercepted. Another takeaway. Xavier Woods. Two interceptions for the Carolina defense. Xavier Woods picks off this one. His 3rd of the year.
Well, Xavier Woods just sitting out there in the flat, and I think he read man coverage on there. Didn't expect Xavier Woods to be sitting out there. Had Michael Jackson in trail on his intended receiver, and just assuming he didn't think anybody would be sitting out over there in the flat. And Baker Mayfield's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he knew trying to get the ball to Jalen McMillan was an inaccurate throw. Maybe rushed back a little bit too soon, but this Panther defense, they have figured out whatever Tampa Bay is trying to do offensively. They're not allowing it. There's Jonathan Brooks, breaks free, and what a run down to the 11-yard line.
There's a kid Out of Texas, just came back last week from that ACL, and this will give you a lot of confidence if you're a young running back right here. Not only get to the edge, bust out to the outside, then right here, stick your foot in, same foot, same shoulder, create some power, run over a few guys. Man, that just feels good coming back from that ACL, having that kind of impact on that run.
Had been on the non-football injury list after knee surgery late in 23. Picked up 9. Was a backup to Bijan Robinson in Texas as this pass goes to Brooks and met right away. Won't have the first down. That's Lavonte David who leads the team in tackles. Bucs need a big defensive stand here.
That's right. Lavonte Davis saying, hey, you may be able to run over a DB, but you ain't running over me. 13 years in the league. Lavonte David just is a great football player. And I'm telling you, hasn't lost a step. Talking to Todd Bowles on Saturday, he's like, man, this guy's 13 years and he still runs, takes care of himself, flies around the football field, sets the tone for our defense.
Brooks and Hubbard both in the backfield. And somehow Bryce Young gets it to Brooks, who's got a 1st and goal.
Man, how about Bryce Young just puts on the brakes. Look at, you're thinking, oh, all of a sudden edge pressure, you see it right away. Takes one of the chops right there, but knowing exactly, we've talked about this, where's your outlet? Where's your safety throw? Where can you get the ball out of your hand quickly to avoid a negative play? He does it perfectly there, finding Brooks and getting that positive play, that 1st down.
Wonder how much Canales took from his Baker experience that he's applied with Bryce Young. Brooks inside the 5. Clock running here. Under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd.
Well, you can just see Jonathan Brooks growing right before our eyes, right? More and more opportunities, more and more attempts, feeling good about putting that foot in the ground, cutting back there. You love it when a young player starts to get it, right? Starts to feel it, starts to play that role. And, man, there's going to be a nice 1-2 punch as he develops. Both he and Chuba Hubbard being the 2 backs leading this Panthers offense in the run game.
Brooks has it. Got away with a low missed tackle, but brought down inside the 5 again. Lavonte David, so it's 3rd and goal. And under a minute remaining in the quarter. See where they spot this, just inside the 5. And the Panthers.
Now you put it on your young quarterback. What can you do? He's made some plays, had a touchdown last week, just an absolute dime piece to Moore. Let's see what they've got in store from their young quarterback.
Ran one in the 1st half. And is on the move here for the end zone and out of the end zone for Leggett. It's 4th down. And here comes the field goal unit.
I'll tell you what, he put it the only place he could put it. Just ran out of real estate right there, but that's a really nice throw on the run under duress.
And now Eli Pinheiro, he hit from 47, then missed from 38 and 45 when he sailed the ball left. Then he made from 27 yards in this direction right before half. And that one's down the middle. 16-10 now with 19 seconds remaining in the 3rd. And now a special message from Walmart. Baker Mayfield knocked out of the game for a couple of plays, comes back in, suffers his 2nd interception. I don't know if we can compliment, we've been talking about Bryce Young quite a bit and how steady he's played, but the Carolina defense and how well Dave Canales, who knew this offense from last year as a head coach here with Ejiro Evero, has handled the Panthers defense has handled whatever Tampa Bay has thrown at them offensively.
I will say this about Baker Mayfield, and Dave Canales told me this last year when I was doing a Tampa game, because there's something special about Baker Mayfield when the pressure's on, when he's got to perform. That's when he plays his best. His competitive nature, the way he is wired, just the fun and love that he has for this game. It's enthusiastic within that huddle, and he just has a knack for making the biggest plays in the biggest moments. And he's got some big moments here as the third quarter comes to an end here with 19 seconds left.
Rakim Jarrett on the return for the Bucs and gets up a good return out to the 33. Now he hadn't. Part of him running around to make time, create time to throw on the move is part of his game, along with scrambling for yardage. How much that will affect that lower leg injury as Bucky Irving carries to bring an end to the third quarter. Low scoring game here at Bank of America Stadium. Mike Evans and Bryce Young has run for a touchdown, but the Carolina defense has been the story. A playoff run, a chance to tie Atlanta for the top of the division. A lot on the line for Tampa Bay as Irving will fall forward, and that should be enough near a first down, and it is a first down. Those numbers I mentioned, the points coming off, 3 sacks and the interceptions. They've held Baker Mayfield to just over 120 yards passing.
Yeah, it's amazing what they've been able to do. Shut down the run, and this was the team that was dead last in run defense, and Ivero there, the defense coordinator, has done a really good job of frustrating this Tampa Bay offense and then putting pressure in critical situations and downs on Baker Mayfield.
And they're going with Irving again, who he limped off to end the first half but has come back. It's obviously been a kind of physical, dirty South head-to-head in the division game. And, Liam Cohen, Ejiro Evero, they were on the same staff with the Rams. So this is a lot of familiarity. Canales, head coach of Carolina, coming over from Tampa Bay last year. Who knows who best, or how are the players responding to it? Baker flips. Irving will get a first down. Boy, he's slippery to the 45 of Carolina.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, he's got the rip away t-shirt. I mean, every time I watch this guy play, he gets his t-shirt ripped.
I went over and talked to him before the game. Remember Tom Moore, the veteran coach of like 180 years. He said Irving is in his office 5:25 every morning, aside from his own assignment.
There it is.
There you go. There's your stretch shirt.
It's the rip away t-shirt, man. I mean, every time I put him on film, his t-shirt's getting ripped away.
Says he's in there asking all kinds of questions about all kinds of football knowledge. Mayfield will dump it off. A lot of room for Irving. And he'll have a first down inside the 35. This is more typical of what the Buccaneers have done when they've been successful.
Yeah, get the ball out, run the football to Irving, get the ball out quickly out of your quarterback's hands with a chance to catch and run from the running back position with Irving. Right now, that's exactly what they do. This looks like Tampa Bay right now, and we talked about it. Like when Baker is under the most duress, under the most pressure and stress to perform, that's when he plays his best. And a lot of this goes to offense coordinator Liam Cohen for getting this rhythm back into the offense.
Rashad White checks in. Baker Mayfield will complete. And that won't gain much. That's Jalen McMillan. J.C. Horn working against the rookie from Washington. Yeah, Mayfield is at his best. That competitive drive, that's one of the things I think that fueled him, and he's talked about it when it was, 2 years ago this week when he was released by Carolina. He got benched in Carolina. He's turned his career around that brief time with the Rams and then landing in Tampa. But for a guy who was taken #1 overall, got Cleveland to the playoffs, and was tossed aside, he's learned much about himself and likes these situations. Irving will weave his way for another first down. Oh, he's fun to watch. Over 100 scrimmage yards today, excuse me.
Just so good at reading the blocks, and also it's your intelligence. You talked about him being in the building at 5:30 in the morning. Baker Mayfield even said, hey man, he's in there, you know, right when the quarterbacks walk in. He is there, sitting in there trying to learn, but his ability to understand blocking schemes, that's how he sets that up, just hugging, you know, the backside of the center who was pulling there, and then creating more on the cutback. Just really understanding where that leverage is coming from.
3 tight ends are in. Irving pounding away. Successful runs on this drive. Just as you said, Mark, get the ball in his hands. His yards per touch. It's impressive when you don't think of him in the same company as those 3, but that's where the numbers say he is as a rookie.
Yeah, as a rookie, and you know, it's not only you think about that from catching the ball to the backfield. Oh, you're in space and you're going to make guys miss, but man, he's a between the tackle runner as well at 195 pounds and 5'10".
The dump off. They're ready for Cade Otton. Xavier Woods, who had the interception a moment ago, who leads the team in tackles, got there first.
Yeah, he's just out there playing zone coverage. He's not fooled by that. He's sitting there underneath. This is where they've been so good in the red zone, Chris, getting the ball out quickly, the screens, the quick throws, the run game. They've got a great balance.
See where Mike Evans is. All right, he's lined up in the slot, so Horn is over there on that side of the field. Quick pressure coming, and that's Sterling Shepard with a big run after catch, and that's a 1st and goal for the Bucs. Big 3rd down conversion.
Huge 3rd down conversion. This little tunnel screen, and the thing about tunnel screen is when you catch it coming back in, and let all these offensive linemen get in front of you. See all those big bodies out there? You turn it back up inside of those guys and then work your way back out toward the numbers. So go in, there it is, Tristan Wirfs just knocking people around, and here he comes, Shepard inside, then get back out. Beautifully executed play on the screen.
Pick up a 13 yards. Back to Irving. Has a hole. Bucky Irving's in the end zone. A Buccaneer touchdown. Seventh rushing touchdown for the rookie.
Yeah, and I love this design. This is a counter with a tight end. So you're going here tight end, here fullback, getting over there to the other side. There it is. Bam, bam. Split that little seam for Bucky right behind the 2 tight ends, and touchdown Tampa Bay.
And just like that, with the extra point from Chase McLaughlin, as well as the Panthers have played, if he makes the kick, they'll be trailing in the game with under 9 minutes to play in the 4th. But he waved him off. He's like, get away from me. Not till after the game. And this will come out to the 30. It's a touchback. Hey, this week NFL players wearing customized cleats in honor. Chuba Hubbard in the backfield. Here's the blitz, and there's we got the lead. Extra pressure. Kalijah Kancey was going to be the featured guy for Todd Bowles, and he delivers with the first sack of the game for the Bucs.
Yeah, that's not even a blitz. This is just, I'm better than you, and I'm going to show you right now. Just a hand swat right there. You could see the way Hunt was opening up. He thought he had slide help. He thought somebody was coming his way, and that's just a miscommunication up front. He thought he had another guy, and so he's just opening up to the outside, and Kancey feels that, rolls inside. Nobody's there to help Robert Hunt, and that's just a breakdown in protection.
Yeah, you're right. That was only a 4-man rush. Look, now they got 3 men up, but they're going to send 5, and the pass over the middle is caught by Thielen, just short of the 30. Kalijah Kancey missed 5 games because of an injured pulled muscle. He's got 4 sacks in his last 3 games coming in. That was before that sack a moment ago.
Yeah, he's just been outstanding, and he's just built different. He's about 6 foot, which means he's probably 5'11", and he's just muscled up, and he is so quick off the ball. Fastest 40 time when he came out of the combine. He's a 4.6 something 40 guy as a defensive tackle end. Just an incredible athlete.
In the face of Bryce Young and knocked away from Leggett. Good defensive play by Zion McCollum. Boy, we're seeing some of these young players, you know, 3rd round draft pick. McCollum, a moment ago, Cansey delivered.
Yeah, they're going to run a little game here around, and I tell you what, they're starting to feel it right now. You can see Nelson, he's coming around. Obviously, Vita Vea giving himself up and creating a pile in there so Nelson could come around there and put pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, McCollum, a 5th round pick in his 3rd year. Point it was going to make with Cansey in his 2nd year as a 1st round pick. And Diaby, there's a flag. Hecker wondering what's going on.
It's like catch interference.
Trying to sort it out. This officiating crew is down their umpire. It's hurt the first half.
There's no foul for fair catch interference. Timeout.
At the moment, after the 45-yard punt, go back to the hot hand of Bucky Irving.
Having a day.
And keeps it going, but it'll be 3rd down. A narrow 1-point lead for Tampa Bay. That touchdown a moment ago by Irving was their first lead of the 2nd half. Remember, this is a Buck team that averages 28 points a game. Carolina's defense has held them in check much of the game. 3rd down 3. Baker's throw to Mike Evans. 1st down at the 42. His 6th catch of the game.
Oh, that's where you go, right? You need a conversion. Get Mike Evans outside leverage. You see it right here. Just have him run this slant. Inside linebacker blitzing, so you know there's going to be a hole there, and Baker Mayfield takes advantage of that hole and puts it on Evans for a 1st down. Boy, what a security blanket 6'5" Mike Evans is.
Irving across the 45-yard line. Mike Evans, a Hall of Fame career, returning to action. We mentioned in that Giant game, but 10 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Nobody started a career and has these numbers, but Jerry Rice is the record he's chasing overall.
I asked Baker Mayfield about it. He goes, he needs 99.5 yards per game to get 1,000. And, you know, it's more important to us as an offense, that's what Baker said, than it is to Mike Evans. He doesn't really care, but this offense cares. And I'm telling you, that's a big deal for all these guys.
Bucky Irving is through for the 1st down and more. Add to it. Irving with Horn chasing, and J.C. Horn finally brings him down around the 10-yard line. But what a game for Bucky the Buck.
Boy, I love this. Follow the block of your tight end. You're going to see Payne Durham right here. He's going to come across formation and trap inside. This is something we call wham. So watch Bucky Irving come tight right off of that. You've got multiple action. Auden coming the other way. Just kind of a crisscross block right there. Irvin separating between the two of them, and then the explosiveness to get almost all the way, but Horn chases him down. What a day he's having.
A career day, 140-plus rush yards. That's still
it
going.
Just goes.
Inside the 5. I mean, he's got to be tough. He's more like 5'9". I went to talk to him before the game, but tough has to be. It looks like we have an injured Carolina Panther, LeBrian Ray. slow to get up on one knee. Hope he's all right. And Irving will catch his breath.
That's what happens to defensive players when you just start leaning with that running game. These last 2 drives, it's been the Bucky Irving show, and they're just running the ball, slinging it out to him in the side there as a tunnel screens and little bubbles. And boy, I tell you what, that tough inside running has been very impressive.
And those are the exact numbers I mentioned, career high. And even Baker Mayfield said when him and Rachaad White are in the backfield together, defenses just don't know where we're going to go with it, and especially in the red zone. That's where Liam Cohen said, I really feel it's an advantage for us. As LeBron Ray is headed over to the sideline.
Yeah, and you know, Liam Cohen, their offensive coordinator, said about the red zone in regards to how good they've been. It's really about the quick passing game, the screen game, getting out of Baker's hand quickly, and then their ability to just run it down there. Not the biggest group up front, but play with leverage, come off the ball, move the line of scrimmage, and anytime you have Tristan Wirfs back in here, right here at that left tackle position, man, he's a difference maker.
Rachaad White carries, and it'll be 3rd down. You see a chance for a 1st down, and then a yard away from a touchdown.
Remember, Big Wirfs coming off that knee injury. He missed last week.
Yeah, the highest paid offensive lineman in history. His 5-year, $140.6 million extension actually kicks in 2025. The Panthers, it's like, let's see, looks like they were calling for a timeout, and they're going to get it. Okay. On a 3rd and 1.
You ever see the draft video of Tristan Wirfs? And he is a huge man now. Just gigantic at 6'5", 320. Built like, I mean, he's like a log all the way down. He's just straight up and down. Jumped out of the shallow end of the pool onto the concrete.
Without touching anything.
Anything.
And so just his feet go up. Yeah, that's.
Like, that is an explosiveness. The explosiveness of that athlete.
I don't even think Aquaman could do that.
No.
All right, Mark.
Well, he's not allowed to be out of the water. That's why Aquaman can't do it.
A yard gets him a 1st down. 2 gets him a touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd hand it to White right behind Wirfs and believe that I'm just going to get it.
3 tight ends are in there.
This is the line of scrimmage right here. Get behind that guy.
It's White. He's met and can't go forward. He'll lose 5 yards. A'Shawn Robinson had that figured out. He got there first. That was big.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of pulling here on the goal line. I like to just come straight downhill. You pull and it creates that separation there. Good job by A'Shawn Robinson right there. Here comes Josie Jewell, the outlaw, grabbing people. Horn. I'll tell you one thing Horn doesn't get enough credit for as a DB. Outstanding cover guy, but boy, he'll come up and hit you in the mouth. He'll come up and make a tackle.
Added to his leading all corners in the league with run stops. I mean, that was a loss. So now a 26-yard field goal try. Panthers use another timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. And, of course, the 2-minute warning. McLaughlin to make it a 4-point lead. Boy, you think back of those 2 missed field goals by Carolina. This will be a different game right now. He made from 27. This is from 26. And McLaughlin delivers. A 20-16 advantage. The touchdown. It's a big stop. Not surprising. There's Bucky Irving, who did all he could do. Wore down when he got down there. They missed him down around the goal line.
Yeah, well, they certainly did, but I just don't like I don't like pulling on the goal line. We talked about this And one of the reasons when you pull, it flattens out the path of the back. So instead of coming straight downhill, which they've been doing with Bucky Irvin and what they did even with White on that carry before, now all of a sudden we're getting sideways to go straight ahead. So I've never been a big puller on the goal line. I just don't like how it flattens the path of the back.
Well, that's a good point, Mark, because all they needed was a yard for a first or two for the touchdown, and that was only third. So if you get half a yard, you probably are going on for it.
Right. I just want to come straight downhill as much as possible.
Here comes a flag. Had to hit within the landing zone, and I don't know. This could be a major mistake by the kick team. Trenton Gill kicking this, not McLaughlin, and that's going to give Carolina great field position up at the 40.
I'm not quite sure what was
the goal on that, right?
Yeah, was he trying to pop it up and just didn't get enough depth on it? Let's see. He's got to make it to the 20, right?
Yeah. Between the 20 or the best spot, right, is inside the 5 or the 10, unless you're going to kick it through the back for a touchback. But that's a first down at the 40. Yeah, it's dead as soon as it hits the ground when you don't hit the landing zone. Young goes to work, and with a quick pass and a tackle right away. Excellent tackle. Tampa Bay getting it from Christian Izien, who last week led the team in tackles, the free agent from Rutgers. So Bryce Young is looking for his 5th career game-winning drive. It'd be his 3rd this season if he could pull it off. He did do that against the Saints and the Giants. And all 4 of his career wins have come courtesy of a game-winning 4th quarter drive. Pass is caught by Moore, short of the first down.
Well, you mentioned that 4th quarter drive for a go-ahead score and a win. Well, he did that last week against Kansas City. They drove one in the 4th quarter. Unfortunately, they left a little bit too much time for a guy named, I don't know if you've heard of him, Mahomes.
Yeah.
And you leave time on the clock for Mahomes, and you know what you do, you lose. That's how it works.
And even sometimes if there isn't time, somehow the Chiefs end up with a win, if you follow me. Irving, but second-year quarterback Bryce Young has played turnover-free football and has his team within striking distance on 3rd down 3. And the lunge by Chuba Hubbard. Let's see where they spot it, because they have only 1 timeout remaining, and he got it. What an effort from Chuba Hubbard. Hadn't touched the ball a lot today, but that was a big move. Pass is caught, and near another first down is Moore, short by a yard. Sideline throw, incomplete. Moore well covered by Jamel Dean.
The right idea. He saw the rotation of the safeties, knew he had one-on-one at the top of the screen to Moore, but again, we've talked about this a couple of times where he just hasn't really given his receiver an opportunity either to catch it or to draw a pass interference on those fades. That's happened a couple of times today where he just needs to tighten that throw up a little bit.
Third and a yard. Hubbard the back. The pitch to Chuba Hubbard, and he slips one tackle and lunges for the first down. Clock continues to run.
And Izien came out of there, shot like a missile, just missed the tackle, and Hubbard gets that first.
Young's throw. Just wanted to play for the next down.
29 Izien just comes flying in there. Chuba Hubbard, the contact balance. I mean, he didn't even shake off that hit in the thighs.
He's already had his second consecutive 1,000-yard scrimmage season and has a chance at having his first career 1,000-yard rushing season. But only 11 carries today for Chuba Hubbard on 2nd down 10. Open. Tremble, the tight end, and he's got a first down. Timeout. Carolina will use their last. 5th catch of the game for Tommy Tremble.
He's just going to come in here. They're going to run these guys off. He's just going to come in here on an in-cutting route. Just call it an under route right here. Stop, come underneath this guys clearing out and break a tackle. But just understanding exactly where that ball is. And boy, you're lucky you didn't get a foul right there.
That was Antoine Winfield coming in on the safety blitz. 1 sack today for the Buccaneer defense. It's allowed Bryce Young to have his best yardage first half passing wise. For Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Just 36 seconds remain. No timeouts for Carolina. Young has time and he can run, throws for the end zone. Thielen has it. It's a touchdown, Panthers. They've got the lead with 30 seconds to go. Wow.
Man, that is a young player coming of age. Bryce Young. Look at him. Go ahead and celebrate. What a throw.
Not going for 2 here. Extra point is good, so it's a 3-point difference. Bucs will have all 3 of their timeouts, but only 30 seconds.
Well, as he climbs the pocket, we've talked about this with Bryce, feels the pressure, climbs up in the pocket. J.J. Russell stops his coverage. He sees Bryce Young attack it. 51 right here. He quits getting depth, and there's the over by 19, Adam Thielen for the touchdown.
And Russell playing because of the injury to K.J. Britt. But remember, this began at the 40-yard line after a botched kickoff that didn't hit the landing zone and gave the Panthers the shorter field. Boy, that was as calm and convincing a drive as we've ever seen Bryce Young operate in.
I tell you what, every player talked to us about his post-game speech last week. And listen, if you don't believe in the kid, Chris, if he doesn't have something to him, you roll your eyes when he says that, because, you know, up until the last couple of weeks, he hasn't played very well as a quarterback in this league. But boy, I tell you what, has the respect of his teammates, has that chest pumped out, that swagger, and boy, what a drive to lead your team to a 3-point lead.
Now, I guess you could have considered going for 2 there if you wanted, because a field goal.
Yeah, but if you go for 2, the field goal beats you, right? Okay. Instead of a,
and you're at home.
Put a drive together, maybe kick a 55-yarder. That's not going to beat you. That's just going to tie the game. So it's a good decision by Dave Canales.
Out to the 30. Next Sunday, a huge doubleheader on Fox. The Panthers take on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. America's game of the week, Josh Allen and the Bills. Stafford and the Rams, or some will see the Bears and Niners. Check local listings for the game in your area, only on Fox.
Well, we said Baker Mayfield seems to play his best when games are on the line and he's under the most pressure. Here it goes. There's not a whole lot more pressure than this. 30 seconds and 3 timeouts.
Mayfield Got a catch at the 45 and a first down. It's Mike Evans. They're going to use a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. Want to get in range for Chase McLaughlin if you can't do better than that. By the way, for Bryce Young, a season high 282 passing yards. A touchdown pass to go with his touchdown run. What a game he has played. Again, error-free football for him. And Evans, 800 career receptions. He's now the 41st player in NFL history with 800 catches or more. 7 are active. They might have to go to him a little bit more if they want to pull this out.
They got plenty of time. You've got the 2 timeouts they can throw in the middle of the football field, and you put another one like that to Evans, and you're right there in field goal range.
Mayfield winds up and fires, and off the fingertips of Evans.
That's the right choice. Just keep feeding your stud. And I tell you what, Bryce Young right there talking to Andy Dalton. I mean, there was no, just totally calm. There was no rise of blood pressure in that drive. He just looked like he was in complete and total command.
19 seconds. Mayfield, he's got to get rid of it. He somehow gets away, and he's going to take it down the sideline and out of bounds with 2 timeouts and 11 seconds remaining, limping after his ankle injury from earlier.
Boy, as he scrambles out of here, I almost thought there was a face mask. And Baker Mayfield, rush lane integrity. You get caught up, you don't get there, and look at Baker just take off with that ankle injury, getting maximum yardage here as he sticks the ball out as he crosses over and the out of bounds.
The first down, trying to get his 11th career game-winning drive, and hoping for his first this season, but only 11 seconds remain. Mayfield fires, the catch is made. Sterling Shepard hauls that in. They're going to use a timeout. They'll have 1 remaining with 4 seconds. And that means you're going to have to try the field goal. Chase McLaughlin, his career long, 57. His long this year, 56, and that's right about where he'll be. We'll check the exact spot. They're going to put some time back on the clock. It looks like they're discussing that because the timeout was called right away. But is that enough time? Don't ask the Bears about that.
Right.
This is risky here. 1 timeout left.
Throw it to the sideline, little quick hitch.
Every yard matters. He held on. Tough hit on Sterling Shepard, but it picks up a few more. Baker knew right where to go with it. And here comes Chase McLaughlin.
Baker just got that ball. I mean, as soon as he caught it, that ball was out of his hand. He knew exactly what he was dealing with. 6 seconds there. That took 3 off the clock to complete that pass to Sterling Shepard and called the timeout. And
so we're looking at a 51. That spot is inside the 34. This should be a 51-yard try in the neighborhood of 52. We'll check the exact, maybe a little more than that. For the tie. Chase McLaughlin, the kick, it's up, it's through, and we're tied and headed to overtime. Baker rallies the Bucs as time expires. Both teams will have an opportunity to possess unless there's an initial touchdown.
Both teams will have an opportunity to possess the ball unless the first team that has possession scores a touchdown. There's a defensive score, or the first team that has possession possesses the ball for their entire 10 minutes. Fourth quarter timing rules will be in effect. Each team will have 2 timeouts. All replays will come from the replay booth upstairs. Any questions? All right. This is coin we use for today's coin toss. Heads, the other side's tails. Heads, the other side's tails. Tampa Bay, you're the visiting team. What is your choice? His choice is heads. It is heads. You won the coin toss. Tampa Bay wants to move to this end.
In terms of the NFC playoff picture in the NFC South, especially for the Buccaneers, with Atlanta and New Orleans losing earlier. After winning the toss, Sean Tucker with a chance on the return, and great special teams play keeps him from getting to the 20-yard line. There's a flag at the 32.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 31 on the kicking team. That 15-yard penalty was added on to the end of the play, first down.
The call is on Caleb Farley, and that's an added 15. Carolina suffered a similar penalty at the end of the first half. This will move the ball up to the 34, and if we have the video of that, we'll show it to you, because that's a big penalty. And
yeah, that is huge.
Came late. Meanwhile, Rashad White in the backfield after Bucky Irving, as the rookie running backs had a career day running the football. White up near the 40.
Love it. Go right back to what got you this lead, what you did in that second half, especially in the fourth quarter, just running the football, setting up your quick play action game, getting the ball out of your quarterback's hands. That really has been the difference for Tampa Bay in this second half, because they were stagnant during the course of the entirety of the first half and most of the third quarter as well.
Irving is back in the game. Mayfield with time and throws, and what a catch! Inside the 45 and down to the 40. Jalen McMillan, third-round rookie from Washington.
Well, he's just going to come over here, and now watch him at the end of this route just whip it back outside when he gets to the top. Josie Jewell is carrying him, right? Carrying the over to watch him whip right back outside. Beautiful throw by Baker Mayfield, just working away from the leverage of the linebacker who's running down the middle of the football field.
Second catch of the game for McMillan. Back to Irving, and he gets down around the 35. So not just in the NFC South, as we wrap up or are close to wrapping up Week 13, you see with the Lions and the Eagles, Seahawks winning, Falcons losing, Minnesota rallying to win, and in the hunt there, Arizona now at 6-6. The Rams beat New Orleans, they're 6-6, and the Bucs want to get there as well. Tampa Bay trying to make the playoffs for the 5th straight year, trying to win their division for the 4th straight year. Bucky Irving, bottom of your screen, as a receiver. Mayfield is in trouble here, and he's going to be sacked. Oh, that's a big sack by the Carolina defense and Trevin Wallace. Trevin Wallace got in there, and Baker tried to weave his way out of it.
Yeah, Trevin Wallace, I mean, he's way up here, and watch him just come down there, unblocked, and just keeps on pressuring, finally gets to Baker Mayfield, gets him down, but he came from such depth that I don't think they really accounted for him in the number count on that blitz. And such a dynamic athlete, the linebacker position, the rookie from Kentucky.
3rd and 14. Mayfield dumps it off, and not a first down. That's Otten to the 37-yard line. And on 4th down, here comes McLaughlin, who made from 51 a moment ago to push it into overtime.
55-yard field goal try for Chase McLaughlin.
Again, his career long, 57. He's hit from 56 this year. The kick, sailing, and McLaughlin misses. And now a field goal by Carolina would win the game. Looked like that snap.
Little inside, little low. Tough time handling it for Gill. Watch this inside, little low. Gets it up, and boy, I tell you what, such precision when it comes to the snap, the hold, and the kick. And even a little off, even though you get it up, it just throws the timing of that off ever so slightly, and McLaughlin just pulled it a little bit.
Boy, the Panther defense, when it looked like the Bucs were moving in, that sack of Baker Mayfield forced him into the longer field goal, and now any kind of points win it. Vita Vea chasing Bryce Young, who's going to keep and go out of bounds around midfield.
Anthony Nelson pushed him out. Gain of 5.
It's a wise decision. See, he had a receiver down there breaking deep, but don't take any chances with the football. You got a short field. Field goal wins it for you.
And if you tuned in late, Carolina's kicker Eddie Pinheiro missed 2 kicks today and made a couple. Young in some trouble here and gets rid of it in the neighborhood of Tommy Tremble, but now it's 3rd and 5.
Second down. Correction, 3rd down.
Well, true to Todd Bowles and his coaching style, bringing pressure. Last 2 plays. It's an old saying in the NFL, you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. They're living by the blitz right now because they're bringing pressure.
Timeout, Panthers.
Timeout, Carolina. Their first of the overtime period. 30-second timeout.
How aggressive do you want to be here when all it takes is 3 to win it?
Well, obviously you're sitting at 3rd and 5 right now, and you can't give Tampa this kind of field position. So, you know, the clock comes into play as well. You've got the 2 timeouts, 5:54, but you got to convert here.
And you can still end up tied after the 5:54 runs out, if nobody scores.
Everybody on the line of scrimmage.
The blitz is on, and pressure's coming, and a high throw, and a one-handed catch from Adam Thielen.
Oh my goodness. Well, we forgive you for dropping the touchdown earlier, because all Adam Thielen needs is one hand. 3rd down and 5. Critical moment, facing the blitz. Just give your receiver an opportunity to go out there and do something special. That is the kick. I mean, we've had a couple of great one-handed catches. Evan had the touchdown. That's one of the best I've seen.
The glove, Adam Thielen, already in field goal range, and they go to Chuba Hubbard. Ball's out, ripped out by the Bucs, and Diaby is on it. And Tampa Bay with their first takeaway. Anthony Nelson is the one who knocked that ball loose.
Well, Anthony Nelson just comes back on from the left-hand side of your screen and just tackles the football, rips it out. And I'll tell you what, set the edge early, rips the ball out. Diaby right there to scoop it up.
Already in field goal range, and Hubbard, usually Mr. Reliable for Carolina, then it's been confirmed, reviewed here, but Anthony Nelson called the headiest player by his head coach Todd Bowles for, not a star, not a headliner, but does whatever they need him to do.
There he is.
Maybe the play of the game.
Yeah, there he is, and you see him tackle the football and just rip that thing out.
Rashad White is in. He gets the football and maybe a yard or two before he's knocked back. Next score wins. Nobody scores. It's a tie. A lot on the line for Tampa Bay. They can't afford a misstep if they want to make it back to the playoffs. Everything fell into place for them today. Mayfield behind, but what a catch by Evans across midfield, and a fresh set of downs for the Bucs.
Well, Mike Evans is playing in the slot most of the day inside and running that crossing route, and like you said, behind as Jackson is trailing, and there he is, tight formation. Here comes Jackson into the picture behind Evans, but great adjustment on that errant throw and coming down with another catch.
And Evans over 115 yards receiving. He had that one-handed touchdown grab in the first half. Bucs will use their timeout. And this is the third fumble loss by Chuba Hubbard this year, but I wouldn't say he just lost it. I mean, this is a Bucs defensive. This is a Todd Bowles takeaway.
Yeah, it certainly is. And there it is, Anthony Nelson just grabbing onto that football and ripping it out of the hands of Hubbard. And man, I tell you what, you're just sick for him because he's got two hands on it. He's trying to protect that thing, but just an excellent play by Anthony Nelson.
And then Diaby had to be on it to recover. Panthers had some players out there, but they were already in field goal range. I mean, inside the 30 of Tampa Bay.
Diaby, it looked like he thought about scooping it, and he realized, no, I better get on this ball.
So the wrap around Bucky Irving, wondering why he hasn't been in the game since he was so key for them to come back against Carolina. Has Rashad White shakes loose. White down the sideline around the 10-yard line and out of bounds. A breakaway run for the Bucs.
Just follow those blockers, right? Follow those pullers. There it is, your guard, your tackle, little counter play, cut inside of the tackle, and then down the sideline, break a tackle. Just beautiful execution by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Little stiff arm there to get away from Fuller. Turn on the Jets down the sideline.
A 38-yard run from the 10-yard line. Baker takes the knee. The clock is running, and it looks like they're just going to bring out Chase McLaughlin and try to end this thing. An incredible game. Underdog Carolina. Error-free football until the overtime, and the Buccaneer takeaway gives the Bucs the chance to take away this win. McLaughlin. See how good this snap and hold are. It's up and through, and the Bucs pull it out in overtime in Carolina and improve their record to 6-6 atop the NFC South. Wild game. Saw that head shake from Todd Bowles